Okay, hello everybody, and happy Crafty Hour Day. So it is Kourtney here with Scrapbook-N-Memories in Harrisonville, Missouri, and we're here with Crafty Hour number 89. So we're using this fabulous collection pack called Enchanted Glades from Hunkydory that we put together for you guys, and we also added in the coordinating papers. I'm going to be honest, guys, I didn't use coordinating papers because I wasn't 100% sure what colors Deanna was using, and I know we're only supposed to use half of something, and I did large cards, and half of something was not enough to do any of the cards I did. So you will have all of these to make extra cards with, because you'll have leftover pieces from this kit that we didn't use. So you can use those solids for those. For your homework, guys, I kind of put on here to have your card bases. We're going to try to work our way through 4 cards. 3 of them kind of have a little interactive fun fold, not hard ones, kind of simple and easy, because the whole idea behind Hunkydory is they're quick, easy, simple cards, and you don't have to add a lot to them. Okay, so we've got that on our list, and then I told you optional to grab some gems. The ones I used were some gold ones, gold pearls, and then I used these little dewdrops in champagne color. Use whatever you have, guys. I know all of us collect the gems and pearls and rhinestones and things, so grab whatever you have that matches. Excuse me, I am still fighting a cold, so we're going to make it through this. I don't know if Facebook is going to show me any comments tonight, so we'll just keep rolling, because you know Facebook has been a little batty lately. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with, the first one we're going to do is this one. I love this little fox, and I love square cards. And then it's going to kind of pop up and make a cute little easel. Okay, so what we need to grab first is in our pack, you're going to grab the fox. And then you're also going to grab, well, you're going to grab both of them that have foxes on them. Okay? So we're going to grab both of these, both of the foxes. And then the card base we need is the first one that we did, that we cut at 5.5 by 11, and then we scored it at 2 3/4, and then we scored it at 5.5. So that will make, and I'm going to go ahead and score mine. That's going to make that fun little easel pop that we're going to do. Okay, and then I'll open it. I'm just going to score on that one. Oh, I forgot to grab scrap base. Oh, hello, Judith. Okay, Facebook is showing me some comments. I saw one pop. Okay, we're good. I forgot to grab my little scraps of paper, so we'll just use this. We'll use this. Okay, so we've got that. We've got our pieces popped out. What we're going to do first is we're going to cut our background. And I really liked this side, so I wanted to save it for something else. So we're going to be using this side of our paper here. We're going to cut on the left-hand side and then save the cute little fox for something later. Hello, Roberta. Okay, we are seeing comments now. I'm glad Facebook is being good. Okay, so we're going to cut this 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. We're just going to cut it squared. Five 1/4 by 5 1/4. Cut it. This we're not going to use, so you guys can just throw that to the side. And then we're going to flip it and do, that is not squared, 5 1/4 again. Woo! Glad I caught myself before I cut that. That was not looking a-okay. Okay, so that's our first piece. And we're not going to glue it down yet because we're going to kind of pop it as an easel piece. So we'll go ahead and decorate it first. And then our scrap piece, you can see nothing goes to waste. Our scrap piece, we're going to stick there on the inside of our card. Okay, so that's our first piece. And we are going to punch out the square. And I love Hunkydory for the fact that it has all that beautiful mirroring on it. All the hard work's done for you guys. It just makes it easy and stunning. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. It looks like Facebook is going to give me some comments, so that is great. You know, some days it shows us the comments and some days it does not. Happy Crafty Hour Day. Okay, we're going to punch. So we're going to punch all of the pieces out. I really liked the square and I thought, I want to use all these pieces. So I'm going to set that one just cockeyed and kind of put it on there. Okay, so there's all of our pieces. You should be punching those out. Everybody got those? I was looking to see where I put my corners. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, this guy's going to be glued flat. We're going to glue him flat right in the center. And I am not good at eyeballing larger sizes for the center. So I'm going to use my Crafty corners. I've got the 1/2 inch one. I'm going to put my 1/2 inch in there. And then when I slide this in, that is going to give me my 1/2 inch all the way around. I am not good at eyeballing large stuff. If it's 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch, I can usually eyeball those. It's the larger ones I can't do. So I'm just putting my little Essentials corner in there just to kind of give me a guide. And we're going to glue this flat. And I swear I unclogged my glue before we started. And I don't know if there's a right side or wrong side. But we're just going to slide that in there. And then there we have our perfect square. Okay, perfect. Okay, so our first piece is a square. Our next piece is going to be this guy right here. And we're going to turn them cockeyed. So we're going to go kind of in the center, tip to tip, and we're going to square things up. But this guy we are going to pop. So we're going to raise him up. Okay, so what we're going to do is just put our foam strips on the back side. And I love the scrapbook adhesive ones. Because they're in strips and they're just quick and easy to put on there. And then you can just snip whatever hangs off and keep going around. So we're going to pop this entire little thin frame. I'm going to try, we're kind of going a little quicker tonight because I'm going to try to squeeze 4 in. Deanna squeezed 4 in also. I think we were both over ambitious, but she did it, so I know I can get mine done too. We can do this because they're Hunkydory, and Hunkydory are quick, easy cards. If anybody did not grab a kit for tonight's Crafty Hour, we do, both stores still have some available. Ours are on our website, and I'm sure you can just contact Clipper Street and they'll get you taken care of if you need, if you're in Canada and need to grab one still. Okay, so then we're just going to peel the backing off of that. Oh, I just noticed I didn't turn on all my lights, but I think we're okay. Okay, is everybody sticky? Nope, that one's not. Okay, so then we're just going to turn that, guys, and we're going to center it. And if you're wanting to make sure you center it, and you can line it up on your mats with your grids. But we're just going to line it up perfect like that and center it. And then our next piece is the cute little fox. We're just going to square that up on the top of that. Doesn't that frame that really nicely? And we'll put pops on the back of him too. So we're just going to pop him up. Probably one in the center will do it. Yeah, because the rest of it is going to rest on this frame that we already popped. So I'm just going to lightly go around the outside edge. I don't know where it's going to hit it, but it's going to hit it somewhere with a little bit of liquid. And then that way it'll kind of grip it too. And we're just going to center that and glue it down. Easy peasy. Isn't that quick and easy, guys? And yet stunning. I like that it puts all that gold foiling on there for you already. So all the work is already done. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and fasten it to our card. On our card, like I said, we scored it. So when we fasten it, we are just going to do it here on the bottom. You'll see my card here. It's just on the bottom part because when you flip it up as an easel, you don't want it glued to that other side. So what I found was easiest, so I didn't accidentally put glue where it's not supposed to be. I just took my score tape and went right below that line. And then I took some score tape and put it on the very bottom there. And now I know when I go to put that on there, I won't accidentally have glue somewhere that it's not supposed to be. And a pokey tool to help get the backs off. And then when you put it on, you're going to have a little bit of white showing all the way around it. Okay, and press. And then when we lift, we'll have our little easel. Okay, easy peasy. Then we'll open up the inside. And that little piece that we have there will go on the bottom. So that is the piece we cut off before. So it's going to go directly on the inside and it's going to be matchy-matchy. It's going to match the outside and nothing goes to waste. Isn't that cute? Okay. So next thing we need to go back to that piece and we're going to take this border out. And you will have to snip it at the top and the bottom to get it free. Okay, and we're going to use this beautiful border right there. Okay, that piece I really liked, so we're going to put that kind of here along the bottom, and it is going to go side to side, and I came up just a little bit because I wanted to be able to see that embellished down there. I didn't cut very straight, so I'm going to clean my ends up on my trimmer because even though it's a hair crooked, that hair drives me nuts. Okay, so it's going to go all the way from side to side, and our card is 5.5 inches. So we're going to cut that strip 5.5 inches. And save that other piece because it's going to go on the inside. And then we're going to pop it on the outside. So what I'm going to do, and it is going to go overlapping the white, I'm going to put foam here on the edges. And then I'll just put liquid in the center because that is where it's already going to be touching something else. Okay. Peel the backing off of those. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid in the center. And we're going to put it from side to side, come up a little bit, And it's going to go just like that. Perfect. Okay, last piece we have in here, I put the best wishes. If you want to put something different, feel free to, because they have lots of great little sentiments on there. We're going to put foam on the back side of that guy too. And then we're going to pop him up here in the corner. Okay, just like that. Then for the inside, we're going to glue this guy down flat, and you're going to see on mine, it goes all the way from side to side. So what we're going to do is we're going to fudge it a little bit, okay? We're just going to take it, and we're going to snip it right where it's going to hide behind that owl, okay? We're just going to snip it because that owl is going to cover it. We'll add some liquid glue. Glue that piece on. We'll add liquid glue to the other side. And try to line it up. And you'll notice we'll have an itty bitty gap, but that's going to be okay. Because we're going to punch out this owl, and I loved the owl. It was so pretty. And I'm going to put low foam tape on it. Since it's on the inside of my card, I want it to be there to kind of pop as a little easel to hold it. But I'm going to put low foam tape on it because I don't want it really high in my card. So I'm using what I call the 108 roll. This is the low foam tape, the 108. Okay. And then we'll just pop that, and I kind of put it equal to the bottom and equal to the right. And then it'll pop up as your easel. And there we go. I'm going to leave the rhinestones for you guys to add later because we're trying to get 4 cards in. So you guys can add the bling later. And I just did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, small, medium, large. And that is card 1. How quick and easy and fun is that, guys? And then it just pops up. I will post pictures too over in the Scoop group or in the Crafty Hour Creations group. That way you guys can see the completed with the gems on them and finish yours up too. Okay, so there's card number 1. Excuse me. Okay, card number 2 is going to be this one right here, and we have an acetate window on it. You see that? We've got an acetate window. So the piece of paper I used for this one is the one that is 5.5 by 7 1/4, and then we scored it at 1 3/4. And my bone folder is on the floor. Okay, so that is that one. The 5.5 by 7 1/4, and we scored it at 1 3/4. Okay, so now we're going to go in our pack, and we're going to go find the butterfly, the oval ones. So that one says spread your wings. We're going to pull that out. We need that one. Then we're going to go to the pattern papers. And we're going to pull out this one here that has the bird in the corner. Oh, we're going to have to come back to this card because I did it in a different order and I was doing my scraps. And that is a scrap of the bird. So we're going to have to flip, sorry. We're going to do this one. I forget sometimes when we do them in a different order, we use pieces from another one, but that's okay. We're still grabbing the same pieces. So this one is the flip-flop, okay? Fun little flip-flop. Okay, so the white base you need for this one is the one, it's 5.5 by 11, And then we score it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So same paper, we're using the same paper, just a different card base. Okay, so this time we're going to have a Z fold. So this one's going to Z fold. Thank you, Melody. Okay, so we're starting with the bird paper, the pretty bird paper. I loved that some of these already had foil on them, and I'm like, the card makes itself, guys. All you have to do is put the paper on, and it's pretty. You don't have to do a whole lot more to them. So we're going to cut this one 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, which is the measurements that we had before. So another square card. Okay, so I'm going to put my bird in here upside down first. My bird upside down. And we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. Save this. And then we're going to flip it and do 5 1/4. And we want the cute birdie side. We're keeping the bird. Save this also. We'll use that later. We're using up lots of scraps. Okay, so we got the cute little bird. The next piece we're going to come in and use is this one. This is the one I just told you to save. We're going to come in and cut it 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. Okay, 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. We're going to do the 2 1/2 first. There's our scrap for our next card. And then we're going to flip it and we're going to cut off the turquoise part. Okay, so 5 1/4, and we're cutting off that turquoise. There we go. That's more like it. Now we have the correct pieces that we need. Okay, so we're going to take our card, open it up, and the cute little bird is going to go right here on the inside. And when we do the Z fold, it's going to do that cute little peekaboo. There's a little peekaboo, I see you. And it's got that beautiful foiling on there. So I hate to cover them up when they have that gorgeous foil. Okay, so we're just going to put that right in the center. And then we're going to Z fold down our flap so it looks just like this. And that other piece we cut is going to go right there on that flap. Okay, just like that. So that cute little bird is playing peekaboo. All right. Okay, so now we're going to go to our punch outs, and we're going to punch out the circle bird because he is matching and he is so adorable. Circle bird, and then we're going to punch out the butterfly circle right next door. And then we're going to punch out, I use spread your wings. I like circles. I have an obsession with circles. I think they're easy to design with, and I love doing circles. So I did all the circle bits and pieces. And then we are going to separate the 3 circles. We're going to use the inner and the outer. I ended up not using this one, so you can save that for another card. Save that for some other project. I was going to use it, and then I ended up taking it off my card. Okay, so we're going to close this down, and we're going to put this circle on here right in the center. And we're going to put liquid adhesive on it, and we want to make sure just to do half of it. Just half, because we don't want to glue our card shut. Okay? And we're going to put it right in the center. Oh, and I managed not to center mine very well, so let me rub that glue off. And then add glue down here where I was off. Somehow I rotated my hand. Okay, so there's our circle. This guy right here, we are going to pop him. We're going to put foam tape on the back side, and we're going to pop him right there. So again, we only want to put foam tape right here. So the easiest way to do this without oopsing is to flip it over, and then we can see that we can put foam tape there and there. I'm going to use my higher foam tape, or my regular, which is what I call the 54. Put a piece there. Sorry, the littles tonight are wound to the Keter. I told them it is quiet hour. I don't quite understand quiet hour. Okay, so we'll put our foam right there. And we'll pop it. So then when we flip, we don't have any adhesive, okay? Then we've got our circles coming in. So we're going to put our circles on here. We're going to glue, since we have this popped and this flat, what we're going to do is we're going to put a pop dot right here, and we're going to glue this flat. So then that way our circle lays flat. It's not going to have any waves or anything to it. And I found the easiest thing to do was kind of figure out where you want to put your circle. I want to put mine right there. I'm just going to lift it up and put my foam right under there. And then I'm going to put my liquid right there. So that's going to make it lay flat. And then you can push it from the back side. Okay. And then we have spread your wings. I'm going to kind of do the same thing. That little guy is just going to come in here and popped. So I'm going to put the foam right there. Put a little liquid at the top. And then stick it to that foam dot. So everybody kind of sticks together. All right, and that is it for that card. Okay, so there is that. We are doing good on time. We are doing good. I think we might get them. So again, I went in here with 3. I did the gold pearls on this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I always like to do little dots of 3, small, medium, large, kind of mix the sizes up. And I always put them in opposite corners. Okay, opposite corners. So that is card number 2. And I'm, like I said, I'm not going to put my gems on because I want to make sure we have enough time to get through all the cards. I was a little over ambitious with 4, I guess. That's okay. Okay, now we can go back to this one because we have scraps. Before we didn't have our scraps yet. So on the inside, we're going to put our scrap. That is this one. It's going to go right here in the bottom. I put it all the way from side to side. We're going to do it side to side. Okay, side to side. So that is going to be 5.5 by 5.5. Okay, are we already 5.5? We are not. We are not 5.5. We're going to cut off. We want to keep that beautiful flower in the bottom corner. So we're going to cut around that. Now, this I'm going to do a hair smaller, just a hair smaller in height of 5.5, because that is the piece that is going to go kind of in that crease. And I don't want it in the crease because I want the card to close down. Okay? And it looks like I need to shave, which I can do that once I glue it down. I can shave that off. I find when I use different trimmers, my 5.5 is not always in the same spot. I need to stick to the same trimmer every time I cut the same stuff. Okay, so we're going to do our 5.5 there. And then that way our little flap can fold down. And as you can see, My 5.5 was not consistent. So I'm just going to put this in my guillotine and shave that little bit off. Okay. Then I told you guys to have a piece of acetate. Oh Lord, where'd my acetate go? There it is. It's clear. That is 5.5 by 5.5. I actually didn't have a piece that big in when I was going through my stuff. So I'm going to fudge mine a little bit, but it'll be okay. As long as it's 5.5 inches wide, you guys have got this, okay? As long as it's 5.5 inches wide, you've got it. So I'm going to take my score tape or sequin tape or whatever you have, and I'm going to put it on the inside flap. So you're going to open, and we're going to hide this. You will not see it. So we're going to open it up, and on the inside flap, I'm going to put my score tape. Okay? And then we're just going to put our piece of acetate from side to side. Right on that score tape. And I shouldn't have exposed mine yet. I need to let me put it back on there. I should have done my little trick where I just pull it, because then it doesn't grab the whole thing. There we go. Okay, so we've got our piece of acetate on there, and it is on the back side because we're going to cover it. You're not going to see it. Okay, so we're going to close that down. We're going to go back to our paper pack and go find some more paper. We are going to hunt this time for the blue pearls and the roses, which is this one with the fairy on it. This one with the fairy. Okay, so it needs to be 5.5 inches wide, and we're going to cut on this side. Okay, so again, 5.5, everything's 5.5. And we're going to cut it. Okay, so we're going to use all these pieces. So the top and bottom is going to go right here on the top and bottom. The insides are going to go on the inside. So we're going to use all these pieces. We're going to kind of gut it, is what we're going to do. Okay, what I did is I really wanted a full flower. I wanted a full flower. I didn't want to chop the flower. So you're going to put the flower in there, and you're going to eyeball it. Okay, we're just going to eyeball it, and we're going to slice it so we have a little flower. Okay, we have the flower. Then we're going to cut off the bottom pearl part to be 1 3/4. So on the bottom, we have a full flower. So we're going to put it in our trimmer, and we're cutting off the light blue piece at 1 3/4. Okay, so that is going to go along the bottom. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, put my score tape here at the top, and then I'm going to glue it to the acetate. Let me see. I need to make sure there's flowers at the top. Flowers at the top. Okay, so I'm going to, I find if I could work upside down easier. Don't know why, but I do. I'm going to line it all the way at the bottom because I want that piece to be at the bottom of my card. And then I'm going to pull. And it's because I don't have a full piece of acetate is why I have to fudge mine a little bit. But there's your piece. So you want that beautiful flower all the way at the bottom of that acetate. Then your top piece is going to be this piece right here that we're going to put on there. And we are going to chop a little bit of that just like we did on the other. So we're going to put it in there and we're going to chop at the top of the flowers because we want those beautiful flowers. And then whatever our piece is here, which is 1 3/4, is what we're going to chop that down to. So again, we're chopping down that back side. And you can save that for a strip for something later. And then that is going to go on that white piece right there. Okay, so now we have a pretty backer, we have pretty pieces on the top, and we're hiding where that acetate adhesive is. So we're hiding the adhesive. And the flowers are kind of going into each other, just like that, okay? And then there's our clear kind of acetate window. That pretty? Okay, so our last pieces we have were these guys, okay? So we need to cut those so they're 1 3/4 also. And those are gonna go on the inside. We are literally kind of using this paper to dust. We're using it all. Okay, so we're going to open it up. And again, when you come in, you're going to come in just a hair so you're not in that crease. And I'm going to close mine just to make sure I don't have white peekabooing, which I do have white peekabooing. So I'm going to cut just a hair of that off so I don't have white poking through. Okay, and then we're going to glue that down flat. It's time to refill my glue. Okay, so when you come down, make sure you're leaving a little space. I don't want to go right in that crease, otherwise the card's not going to close comfortably. And we want the card to close comfortably. Okay, and then the other piece is going to go at the top to cover up that other insightful edge. Okay, and then we close her down. Isn't that beautiful and fun? Okay, so now we're going to go to our pieces and we're going to pop out the oval butterfly. I loved this butterfly. We're going to punch out the little bluebird. The outside edge of the oval. You can save the solid and the fairy for another project. Save her for something else. We're going to use that piece. And then we're going to need to use this border again that says thinking of you. And I'm just going to kind of clean it up in my trimmer again because I can't cut a straight line. My life depended on it. And originally, I saved all of these pieces too because I thought these would be really cute to do something with. But I never did find a use for them, so they didn't get used. But I thought they'd be great borders for something. Okay, the thinking of you, we're going to cut it at 5 1/2. We're still doing our square size, so that's going to be 5 1/2. We've got our oval. We're going to glue our oval on, and when we glue our oval, you only want to put glue here and here. You don't want to see it on the back side of the acetate. So just kind of half arch it at the top and half arch it at the bottom, and then stick it on there. And we're just going to center it. Or as centered as we can get. Okay. And then the thinking of you, evidently I didn't measure right, guys. Is the other piece the correct size? Ah, I grabbed my scrap. Grabbed the wrong piece. Thinking of you will go along the bottom section of that. Sorry, it is the right size. I just grabbed the wrong piece. And I'm going right above where you see that little ribbon in the background, right above that. And then we're going to do the butterfly. When you put your butterfly on, same thing. We don't want to see any foam on the back side of the window. So you're going to put your foam here and your foam here, the top and the bottom. We're going to pop your ovals. Who would have think we could get a card done in 15 minutes? 4 cards in an hour. It's a high thing for me. Okay, and then we're going to pop it because it is a crafty hour. Okay, then our last little thing is our little birdie. He's going to overlap here in the corner. I'm going to put glue here, and I'm going to put a pop dot or foam underneath him there. So I know he's going to go right there. I'll just put my little foam, and then I'll put some liquid on the top and fasten him down. These pieces just layer really nicely. Hunkydory makes nice, easy cards that are stunning. Okay, so there we have card number 2, or 3. Ooh, card number 3. Learn to count, Kourtney. And then again, I put the gold pearls, put 3 at the bottom, 3 at the top. If you wanted to, you could put some pearls on the inside too to dress it up. But that's how I completed that card. Okay, last one. And the last one's quick. So it'll go even faster. So we will be good on time. We will be good on time. Okay, we're going back to our paper pad. And we're looking for the one that has this deer on here. I just love this deer. And after I did my first cards, I noticed on the side here, there's like that glue gum. It's icky. I'm going to put it in my trimmer and just cut off a small sliver just to get rid of all that glue gum. My first couple cards I glued down and I saw that on there and I tried peeling it off and it just was not an easy task. Okay, so this is our last card and this is the one that I told you to have a piece of paper that was 7 by 10 and we're going to score it at 5. So it's a 5 by 7 card. I absolutely loved this little fawn, and I love that it already had gold foiling in it, so we're going to use this. Originally, I had popped all, and we're going to use this frame too. Originally, I had popped all these pieces out, and I had them layered on top of that little fawn, and I was like, that's ridiculous. We need to use that little fawn, and then save this fawn for something later. So when I punch this out, I'm going to leave the gold on there. So I am just punching out the very center point, just the fawn. So I'm leaving the gold and the frame attached. Okay, so those 2 pieces are still attached. Then we're going to use this owl. I love arches. Arches are fun to design with too. The owl and then also the Forever Grateful. Those are the pieces I'm going to use from this one. Okay? Okay, let me get you guys some measurements here. 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I'll have to do this on my other trimmer. Okay, so our first cut is going to be 4 3/4, and we've got that beautiful fawn in the corner. And then we're going to rotate it and do 6 3/4. I got to slide my arm out for this one. And again, we're leaving the fawn, we're cutting the other pieces. And then she is just going to go directly in the center. Easy peasy. We're just going to put her right in the center. Quick, easy 5x7 card. Okay, and then the frame, we're going to pop. So we'll put some foam around that one. And I'm going to use my 54, so the standard height. I mentioned it in my live today. I'm going to change the time on my crafty hours. They'll still be on Thursdays, but I'm going to do them 2 hours earlier. So my crafty hour, instead of being at 7 o'clock Central, is going to be at 5 o'clock Central. That way I have a space at the store now. I can do the crafty hours during store time. I have a back room, so therefore we won't have the dogs barking and all that extra noise. And actually when I come home too, I don't have time. I'm like prepping and trying to make sure everything's good. I don't have time to eat dinner. So I don't eat dinner until 8 o'clock at night. And by that time, I could probably eat my arm. So, and the weather's turning nice. And I know you guys want to be out in the yards and enjoying stuff too. So we're going to switch to 5 o'clock Central for all the crafty hours from this point forward. On those. Okay, we're going to put the frame down and we're going to frame that cute little fawn. So it's going to be over on the left a little bit more. Okay, over on the left a little bit more. Then we're going to put the cute little owl and we're going to put that in the bottom corner. And we're going to, you know what? I am just going to put a little foam here in the bottom and side. And the rest of it will be glued flat. Okay, so I'll just put my foam right there. And then I'm going to add liquid because I'll just glue it to the frame. And kind of put her in the bottom corner. But I don't want to cover her little nose up. So I'm going to put it all the way to the edge. So you don't see, all you see is white, okay? I don't want to cover up that little fawn's nose, or at least not as much as I want. Oh, thank you. Rosie says she loves to change. Okay, good. And then we have Forever Grateful. We're going to pop that right there also. So we'll just use our little foam squares, put that on the back, and pop it. And there we go. And you know what, guys? I got 10 minutes. So we are going to go back and add our gems because we have time. We're going to add our time. Yes, so it'll be 3 o'clock for the Pacific people. And it will be 5 o'clock for, as Deanna calls it, the Missouri people. Okay, I'm just pulling out my little gems. This one I did champagne. And we're just going to use our little pickup stick. I love my Marvy pickup stick. And we're just going to do like a small, medium, large. And we're just going to put them up here as a 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to dot those on. Okay, so I put 3 up there. And then I'm going to put some down here in the corner too. And I actually put 1 up on the frame. And then the other 2, like they're spilling off of the frame of my little gems. Anytime I do gems, I always kind of do opposite corners. It's just, to me, more appealing to the eye. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 3 little gems. The other one that got those same gems, I'm going to work with my champagne, is the fox. I did the same thing in the top corner. So I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight for Crafty Hour. This is Crafty Hour number 89. If you guys did not get a chance to grab a kit, evidently Deanna and I ordered a lot of extras this time. So we still have kits available, only a limited number. So if you want to grab a Crafty Hour kit, we still have those available. Or if you just want to grab some of the Enchanted Glades by itself, you can also. But I would grab the Crafty Hour kit because that's what we added, those extra solid, adorable, scoreable cardstocks that coordinate and match with this release also. Okay, there we go. There's the glitters on that one. Okay. Then we got 2 more, and I switched up gem colors, so let me dump those back in. So tomorrow will be the reveal of Crafty Hour number 91. 91. So 91, I think we already kind of sneaky peekied and told you guys what we're doing. We're using that beautiful new Katie Petite collection. They are in stock now, so we will be able to ship them and or pick up immediately on those. But that also means quantities are limited, so make sure to grab it. I am really excited about this next one. It is right up my wheelhouse. It's got some rub-on. I don't want to give everything away, but it's got some rub-ons in it and some papers. It is a fabulous kit, but of course anything by Arden is always fabulous. Okay, so we put some gems on there, and then we'll put a couple more gems here in the bottom. Crafty Hour 90, which is the next one that we will be doing, is the Spellbinders, the one that we did with Clementine collection. I think both stores still have some of those kits available too. I think we're down to our last couple ones, so if you want to grab those items, they're on our website, or you can contact Clipper Street for the Canadians, and you guys can grab those. Okay, there we go. And then last one, our little birdie. We're going to add bling to that one. So if you're not in the group yet, make sure you guys join our private Facebook group called Crafty Hour Creations. And that is where we post our creations that you guys can find. But you can also post your own creations, because sometimes, well, a lot of the times, there are extra pieces to these kits that you guys still design with. Or sometimes we have some great add-ons, and I know you guys grab those add-ons and create even more things with those. So please post all your creations over there in the Crafty Hour Creations Facebook group, because we would love to see what you guys are creating with the kits. Even if it's the same thing, we just want to see that you guys are crafting along with us and creating, and we want to see what you guys are making. All right, guys, so this Crafty Hour was 2 hours, one with me, one with Deanna, and we did 8 cards in 2 hours. How fabulous and fantastic is that? So I don't think we have any questions. Thank you, everybody, for all the hearts and all the love. Thank you. These cards were really fun to kind of play with and do. And I hope if some of you guys were new to Hunkydory, you're not as scared of it. I know some of my customers are like, oh, I don't know what to do with Hunkydory. It's challenging. They're large. They're big. So I hope this helped you guys out in your designing and your layouts with Hunkydory. So have a fabulous night, everybody. As always, happy crafting, and we will see you tomorrow for the Crafty Hour 91 reveal. It'll be 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific, It will be posted on both of our Facebook pages, and we've already created the event, so you can click that you are attending. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.